Petro's Bloodless triumph, a humane alternative to America's missile onslaught in the war on drugs.
Two visions collide in the cocaine corridor. The Eastern Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea form the world's most trafficked drug superhighway. More than 90% of the cocaine that reaches the United States, approximately 1,000 metric tons per year, passes through these waters, hidden in fishing boats, semi-submersible narco subs, or welded to the hulls of container ships. On October 30, 2025, Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced a historic operation. His navy intercepted a high-speed go-fast boat 180 nautical miles off the central Pacific coast, seized 2.8 tons of pure cocaine, 2,782 kilograms net weight, and detained 3 crew members, 1 Colombian and 2 Ecuadorians, without firing a single shot. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Petro declared, 2.8 tons of cocaine seized in the Pacific without a single death. All support from Colombian military personnel for operations using missiles and disproportionate force must be suspended. This was not just a press release, it was a direct challenge to the United States. Under President Donald Trump, the U.S. had launched a dramatic new phase in the war on drugs, using Hellfire missiles fired from drones and helicopters to destroy narco boats at sea. By late October 2025, 15 such strikes had killed 61 people and recovered only 1 ton of drugs. Petro's message was clear: we achieve more by boarding than you do by bombing.
This essay explains both strategies in detail, compares their effectiveness, ethics, legality, and long-term impact, and poses a fundamental question. In a war worth $100 billion a year to the cartels, can intelligence and restraint outperform firepower and fear? Petro's model, total peace at sea. What is total peace? When Gustavo Petro took office in August 2022, he ended decades of US-backed aerial fumigation and military-led eradication. Instead, he launched Total Peace, a strategy to reduce violence by negotiating with armed groups, offering farmers legal alternatives, and disrupting trafficking through intelligence and precision, not brute force. The October 29 seizure, a case study. This is exactly how the 2.8-ton seizure unfolded. A US-provided P-8 Poseidon patrol plane, operated under Joint Interagency Task Force South, or JIATF South, detected a suspicious boat at night using infrared radar. The Colombian Navy dispatched the offshore patrol vessel ARC Punta Ardita, BP 448. Using speed and coordination, Colombian Marines boarded the vessel in open ocean. They found 2,796 individually wrapped packages, each stamped with a logo, and field tests confirmed 100% purity. The 3 crew members surrendered without resistance and were taken alive for interrogation. Finally, the boat was towed to Buenaventura port and the cocaine handed to Sijin, Judicial Police, for forensic analysis and chain of custody processing. 0 shots fired. 0 casualties.
Colombia's track record, 2022 to 2025. Under Petro, Colombia has shattered all seizure records. In 2022, a historic high of nearly 500 tons was reached. In 2023, 672 tons were seized, a 34% increase. In 2024, 626 tons, up 35% from the previous year. And from January to September 2025, 771 tons had already been confiscated, 13% more than in the same period the year before. In total, in more than 3 years of government, Colombia has seized approximately 2,800 tons, equivalent to an average of 900 tons per year, more than any other country in history, and accounting for 20% to 25% of global annual cocaine production, estimated at a potential of 1.2 to 1.5 million tons. How does Colombia do it? The strategy rests on 3 core pillars. First, a Pacific-centric approach. 70% of cocaine leaves South America via ports like Guayaquil, Buenaventura, and Tumaco, so the Colombian Navy conducts over 100 naval patrols per year in the so-called cocaine corridor, scanning go-fast boats, fishing vessels, and container ships with X-ray machines at ports. Second, intelligence-led operations. Undercover agents infiltrate cartels, phone intercepts and financial tracking enable preemptive strikes. For example, in 2025, police seized 8 tons in a Europe-bound container, resulting in 38 arrests and 0 deaths. Third, crop substitution. 80,000 hectares of coca have been voluntarily abandoned in the Amazon. 22,000 of them replanted with cacao, coffee, or palm, and farmers receive subsidies and protection from FARC dissidents.
Strengths of Petro's approach. This model stands out for preserving lives. Crews are detained, not killed, avoiding civilian deaths and respecting international law. It generates valuable intelligence, as a captured smuggler can expose entire routes or money laundering networks. It is cost-effective, as boarding teams reuse boats and gear without needing $115,000 missiles, and it builds alliances, with Europe, Ecuador, and Panama sharing intelligence and conducting joint operations. Weaknesses and criticisms. However, it is not without risks. Boarding armed boats is dangerous, and Colombia has lost Marines in past operations. Coca cultivation reached 262,000 hectares in 2024 according to UNODC, the highest level since 2018, because Petro prioritizes peace talks over forced eradication. Its seizures depend on radars, planes, and satellite data from JIATF South, so he criticizes US tactics but uses their technology, and in 2025, the US decertified Colombia as a non-cooperative partner for refusing to resume aerial fumigation.
America's missile strategy, narco-terrorism meets Hellfire. Trump's new doctrine, 2025. After returning to office in January 2025, President Trump reclassified cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and declared a non-international armed conflict at sea, allowing the military to use lethal force outside territorial waters without congressional approval. Timeline of missile strikes. The deployment began in August 2025 with 7 warships, 1 attack submarine, and 4,500 troops in the Caribbean. On September 2nd, the first Hellfire missile strike sank a Venezuelan go-fast boat, killing 11. In October, strikes expanded to the Pacific off Colombia, Ecuador, and Mexico, with the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier group joining. By October 31st, 15 strikes in total had been carried out, 8 in the Caribbean and 7 in the Pacific, leaving 61 dead. How a missile strike works. A US MQ-9 Reaper drone or P-8 plane detects a suspicious vessel. A radio warning is issued, stop or be destroyed. If the boat flees or ignores, a $115,000 Hellfire missile is fired. The vessel sinks in minutes and debris, sometimes drugs, is recovered by allied navies, such as when the Dominican Republic salvaged 1 ton.
Head-to-head comparison. In tons seized per operation, Colombia achieves 2.8 in a single intervention and an average of 900 per year, compared to 0.07 for the US, 1 ton in 15 strikes. In deaths per operation, Colombia records 0, while the US averages more than 4. In intelligence gained, Colombian boarding produces arrests leading to trials and exposed networks, while sunken bodies yield nothing. In cost per ton, the Colombian model is low, ships, fuel, training, versus the high US cost, 1.7 million in missiles. Plus billions in ships. In legal standing, Colombia is fully compliant, while the US faces international challenges, and in long-term impact, boarding bleeds cartels of money and manpower, while bombing creates martyrs and drives innovations like narco drones. Who wins? Colombia seizes 100 times more drugs per operation, respects life and law, and builds sustainable cases. Bombing breeds resentment and cartel adaptation.
The hypocrisy and the horizon. Petro boasts of 0 deaths, but his seizures rely on US technology. Coca cultivation is at a 7-year high, and he negotiates with the same groups that traffic drugs. Trump bombs Venezuelan mules, but 90% of fentanyl enters through legal ports in Mexico, untouched by missiles, and alienates allies needed for real disruption. Conclusion. Toward a hybrid future, Petro'S without a single death paradigm is proven, humane, and scalable. It exposes US missile strikes as symbolic violence, dramatic, deadly, and largely useless. Suspending Colombian support for missile operations? Smart. It forces Washington to board, not bomb. But the true future is hybrid: US technology, drones, satellites, AI analytics, combined with Colombian tactics, boarding, intelligence, prosecution. The Pacific's blue waters and the blue stripe of the flag will be protected not by fire from the sky, but by finesse on the waves. As Petro wrote, tagging Fox News, "We protect the blue of the flag. The world is watching. Will humanity triumph, or will hubris sink the ship?"